In the game of loans, you either win or you learn. Welcome to the game of loans, where fortunes are forged and empires are built. Your hosts, lords of lending and wholesaling, are here to guide you through the realm of real estate and wealth building. Brace yourselves, cash flow is coming. Welcome to episode 23 of the Game of Loans. I have here Mike Termine, a fellow New Yorker. I've been excited to meet you, Mike, for such a long time. We've been in contact on Instagram, and just the Yankees cap tells it all, right?
Yeah, man.
I mean, fucking no other team than the Yankees, right? I mean, I don't know if you're a Knicks fan, but the Knicks are killing it.
Yeah.
I'm just so happy, with the Knicks and everybody. But the Yankees, that's the way to go. So, where'd you grow up in Long Island? Or where in Queens, or wherever. Where did you grow up in New York?
I didn't grow up in Long Island. I grew up in Rockland County.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in Rockland County. I grew up in Nyack.
We call that upstate.
Upstate.
Right.
Not too far upstate.
No,
though.
I know.
Only about a half hour north of New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in Rockland County, and then.
So you're the beginnings of what downstate people call upstate.
Yep.
So Mike is a true New Yorker. That's what you are.
For sure.
We're fake New Yorkers.
Yeah.
We like to pretend like we're real New Yorkers, but you guys are once you get up there, those are the true New Yorkers.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And what people don't realize is how beautiful it is up there.
New York State's a big state.
It's a big state.
It's a big state.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so pretty, right? I mean, when you go up into the Adirondacks and come on, like the lakes that we have.
Right around fall.
I don't know. Have you gone to like Lake George? Did you go to Lake George?
Oh, yeah. Sure, as a kid.
That's when I was a kid. We used to go to Lake George all the time.
Yep.
It was fantastic.
Yep.
I mean, to me, upstate New York is probably as beautiful as anywhere else in the United States.
Yep. I agree.
And everybody knows New York is Manhattan and places like that. But really, if you're a true New Yorker, like even on Long Island, you could go out to Montauk and places like that are just gorgeous. Where you don't even realize it's a part of New York.
Yep.
So, you own Termine Real Estate.
I do.
Your business. I'm just going to give a brief description and then you go into it.
Yeah.
It's really, you actually try to not ever use someone like me, which is smart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So your goal is don't even go to the bank and don't go to private money. Your business is geared towards finding property and then having the seller finance the property. So you're going to buy it and they're going to finance it, seller finance it for you.
Yeah, that's my niche. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't push anybody towards private money.
Right.
I just think there's a lot of people that have to know what the exit strategy is before they find somebody like you.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I turn sellers into lenders and I turn the buyers into borrowers, and I get people to finance me properties constantly.
So when you're doing that, for clients, are you still earning a commission? Like, how does that work?
It's funny. So I had a broker's license in New York years ago, swore I would never get another license, wound up with a license just recently because of the opportunity that's on market.
Right.
So I've got a bunch of like investment brokers that had worked in the investment side. Okay. And now what we do is we kind of hunt negligent brokers.
Okay.
And we find value add opportunities, and
So explain that. What would be a negligent broker? Like just someone that prices a property like an idiot?
Yeah, like I just bought two of them with like an older agent that maybe didn't understand what the pricing was like, didn't know what they were sitting on. Okay. There's a lot of like real estate license law that you have to follow. Okay. So if you're really well versed in the license law and then you get on market, you could find stuff that maybe isn't advertised the right way. Okay. Maybe they left out some of the disclosures. Okay. Maybe they didn't upload a survey when they were supposed to. Okay. I've got a property right now that we just put it under contract. A woman went ahead and actually marketed the property as 3 acres of, I think it was industrial land. Mm-hmm. And then there was another 0.32 acre of single family residential land. Okay. And it turns out that the industrial piece is actually zoned residential 1. So we went under contract thinking it was industrial. And now we kind of hold our ass to the fire and we say, hey, listen, if we don't get an extension so we can get a rezoning, then we're going to bring your ass in front of the commission.
So you wanted industrial?
I work in so I work in a little honey hole personally, like industrial outdoor storage.
Okay. Is that what you do? Like that's like a side
as far
business?
as my holdings?
Yeah.
I work in light commercial, multifamily light commercial, rental, really good rental type stuff.
That's good.
For my own portfolio.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I look to buy.
What would be like light commercial? What would you say is light commercial?
Light commercial would be somebody who wants to use like a vacant lot for like automotive, a trade, a landscaper, fence guy, HVAC guy, plumber, towing company.
Right. That's great.
Yeah. Little honey hole.
It's great. Yeah. Because what people don't understand is with that, the maintenance is basically nothing. Like you don't have to do anything. There's no maintenance, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
so that's even better than, because a lot of people are taking land like that, and what are they doing? They're converting it into like RV parks or campsites and stuff, right? But even then, when you're creating an RV park, you have to put the asphalt down and although it's light as shit compared to like a fucking building.
Yep.
But I mean, what you're doing is even like zero lift.
Yeah, just a fence lot. We actually close on a 0.65 acre, already zoned industrial.
Okay.
Has a company out of Indiana.
Okay.
Miller Pipeline is the name of the company.
Okay.
They're doing all the work up and down 85. They get a 10-year contract.
Okay.
Park all their equipment there, the trailers, excavators, generators.
If you don't have to answer it, but
yeah.
What kind of caps do you look for when it comes to something like that?
That's always a little bit subjective, right? Because, I mean, like you, I make my money when I buy. So I don't necessarily talk cap rate until I'm getting over like 10 units.
Okay.
So for that, there's 40 spots.
Okay.
They're on an existing lease, month to month, which is great.
Okay.
So it gives me the opportunity to renegotiate a lease. Yeah. So I'm really looking at what is and what could be done.
Okay.
More than I'm looking at cap rates and stuff.
Right.
And like you, I make my money when I buy.
Right. So, again, I'm fascinated by this. This is great.
Yeah.
I always like to, if you do follow me. So I'm always giving people advice on alternative ways to make money, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'll get a like some fucking haters. You get them all the time. Yeah. I love that you fire people. That's the fucking best. You're like, you're fired. and you just suck
I chop 100 heads a month.
I love it. I love it. So if you guys don't know, Mike you fire people. Like, you're like, fuck you. You can't follow me anymore.
Yeah.
That's the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You're like the only person that I know that fucking does that. It's just such a New York move too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to start doing that. Like, fuck you, I'm firing you, right? But so as you know, like, I like to give them alternatives because the bullshit gurus out there, as you know, they only know, like, they pick up on one fucking thing and then they beat it to death, right? Yeah. Like short-term rental, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I hear another schmuck talk about a short-term rental, I'm going to just fucking lose my mind. Yeah. I'm like, no, fuck the short-term rental. It's especially here, like in Nashville, they put up so much product, man. No one's making money anymore. And they're such assholes, they're cannibalizing themselves, right? Mm-hmm. So I see these guys, they're putting up brand new projects, right? Here. And then going down less than half a mile and putting up more projects. I'm like, do you understand what the fuck you're doing to yourself?
You're supposed to be buying it below replacement cost.
Yeah,
I know.
Like, and they're paying top dollar, and then they get a bunch of other assholes that come in to buy these properties at a premium.
Yep.
And these idiots are buying them. Yeah. And I'm like, no, there's way better. Look, 10 years ago, I was so hot on Airbnb. I really was, because it made sense, right? Now I'm not. Now there's so many other ways, and like, this is genius. I love it. I fucking love it. I love what you're doing. That's great.
Yeah.
Because what people don't understand also, the land that you're buying can't fucking be used for anything else, probably.
It's already zoned for what I want it to be.
It's zoned.
So I don't have to jump through any hoops.
Right.
I don't have any utilities on it other than lights. Right, there's no water, there's no sewer, there's one pole with some lights,
right.
Security fencing,
that's
paved.
Great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so what is that? So now you get into a property like that.
Yep.
No one really wants that property but you, pretty much, right? Because do they?
I think the players want it. I think the people who know what they're looking at want it. But I've
like
got
the guys that the players that, like the guys that you're renting to. Or you're talking about guys that are like you in that game?
Yeah, I think guys that are like me in the game. I think guys that are like me and you are few and far between where we're looking at everything.
Okay.
Right? We're looking at everything.
We're looking at everything. We look at everything.
We look at every fucking
There's no
thing.
niche. The whole fucking world is a niche.
Yeah, it's like one big
the world,
opportunity.
yes, it's a niche, you know?
One big opportunity. So I think there are people like that are looking for that stuff. And I think if you can find a way to find it before anybody else gets to it, create a little bit of an unfair advantage for yourself, then, you could be pretty successful.
So now I'm the seller. What are you coming to me? What are you saying to me? Like, hey.
So this particular one, this is not bought on seller finance. This is bought for cash.
Okay.
I can go through a seller finance example after this one, but this one is, now here's like some of the negligence. 95% of the realtors who get a license pray that Auntie Jane is going to give them a listing somewhere in their lifetime.
It's true. You're right. I say that. We say that all the time.
No fucking clue.
Nothing.
How to lead gen.
95% of them. 99%. 99% of them are fucking idiots.
They have no idea.
No idea.
That's what I love about you, is that every time you start a reel, you go, here goes another fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I go, I like this guy, Steve.
It's true though, right? Don't you get irked? Like, you're so smart. I watch your shit. I'm like, fuck, he's fucking brilliant. But don't you get, like, stupidity irks me, right? And I get these, I just can't. I look at these guys. I could go in 5 seconds. I already want to die. 10 seconds in, I want to break my phone.
I know.
Like really? And then they get these assholes to follow them, right? And they're getting these views, and the whole time I'm like, how? Like, why are you even listening to this fucking idiot?
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
But meanwhile, you give some gems, man. Really, honestly, you do. If I were starting out, and I'm not saying, I swear to God, I don't say this to people that come on the show. If I were starting out again, like from scratch, I'd be moving to North Carolina, to Charlotte, and just shadowing you. I'd be like, hey, what the fuck do you want me to do? I will run. People do that. Honestly, I'd be like, you want me to go get you water? I'd get you water, coffee. I'd follow you. I would drive you everywhere, right?
Yep.
Because we're built different, right?
Yep.
We know.
Yep.
I'd be like, hey, Mike, I don't want anything from you.
Proximity.
I just want nothing from you. I want to be able to be as close to you as possible. Yep. Don't fucking pay me. Don't do anything. Yep. I will sleep in my car.
Yep.
I'll pick you up 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll drive you wherever you want to go.
Yep.
And just let me hang out with you. Because just listening to you, in a year, I'd be wealthy.
If more people thought like that, especially from a broker perspective, and they didn't get a license, because real estate agents eerily remind me of wholesalers.
Yep.
Where they get these big $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 flashes in their head, what they could make.
Right.
So they want to jump the line and go right into fucking luxury.
Yep.
And it's like, you're never going to sell a luxury home unless you earn your way to luxury.
Yep. It's true.
You got to earn your way to luxury in order for you to do it. And then even if you fucking fake it for a minute, because I know a guy who's actually faking it right now, and he's starting to sell some property, like some luxury property, is that if they knew how to lead gen, number one, if they didn't rely on some family member to give them a listing, number two, and number three, they didn't take on the emotion of the family member that they represent, because they fucking kill deals.
100%.
They kill deals.
All of them.
And it's like, you hire a broker because you want to take the emotion out of it, and then you give it to a family member. That family member feels like they're protecting the family.
They fuck up a whole deal.
And they fuck up an entire deal.
They fuck up a whole deal.
So this one particular woman had 5 pieces of property listed, all with the same LLC.
Okay.
Only 2 of them popped up on market.
Okay.
But because I look at everything like you look at everything, I was able to find this thing. It didn't pop up on the market, but it was actually active. Mm-hmm. And I've got a pretty unique way on how I kind of hover over property to find out what it's about. Yeah. And I jumped on it before anybody else jumped on it. And that's the negligence, right? So like opportunity can come in merely somebody, like a family member listing a piece of property where she's out by the coast, has no idea what the fuck is going on in Charlotte. You have no idea what the fuck is going on in Charlotte.
Yeah. I love what you just said. with you have to earn your way to luxury.
Yeah.
Right? I love that. Because in my opinion, and you tell me if you feel the same way, the only two places that you can make money as a real estate broker, okay, is if you're a competent commercial real estate broker, because I don't know anyone that's buying a real commercial property online without fucking a real broker that's a competent real estate broker.
You couldn't even find the real deals online.
It's just you're never going to do it.
Yeah.
That will never get replaced.
It's all connections.
Right?
Yeah,
you agree with me with that?
I agree.
The other thing is ultra luxury and luxury. That group of people also, they're not going to get replaced. No. They just won't, because the people that are buying those homes want to be catered to.
Yep.
They need that concierge experience, and they want to be catered to. They're not the type that's going to go online, make an offer, or go see a fucking property on their own. They just won't.
Yep.
But like you said, you have to earn your way into it. And you can't fake it till you make it to that. Maybe this guy's doing it, but I don't know too many people that can.
So to your point, there's a big difference between brand, marketing, and advertising.
Yep.
Right?
True.
3 very different things.
Yep.
Most people can't distinguish between the 3 very different things.
Yep.
And if you know how to market to the affluent,
yep,
and you know how they want to be spoken to,
yep,
and you understand how you need to be prepared, your presentation, competence, your conviction, your charisma.
That's it.
All those things have to come together as one in order for you to be successful.
So I have a borrower. Her name is Maria, and she works around Miami. Okay, so she's also the broker, and she does these high-end flips, man. I mean, it'll make your head flip. What the vision she has. Like, she's the epitome of what we're talking about. She'll take a piece of shit property in a great place. Her vision is so amazing. What she does to these homes is fucking phenomenal. And then she's the broker on it.
Yeah. Smart.
And she does exactly what you're saying. The way that she can market these properties, she knows her clientele.
Yep.
Exactly what they're looking for.
Yep.
She sets up the staging, right? That's what people don't understand. I went to this house, to an open house here. The house was $7.5 million. I mean, $7.5 million in fucking Nashville, man.
That's pretty heavy.
That's like, I would say that's like $25 million in Beverly Hills, $30 million in Beverly Hills.
Yep.
That's to me, that's comparable. Okay.
Yep.
So that's a heavy house.
Yep.
They threw a party. I walked in, and I was like, "Who the fuck staged this house?" Like, this is fucking horrible. Like, this is shit. But that's what people don't understand, man. If you're staging a luxury house,
you better go.
That shit better look like the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
Right? Am I wrong?
No, you're right. 100%.
Like, I have to walk in and be like,
wow.
Even though I know it's staged, I need that shit to look
insane,
like a Bugatti. You know, like not like a fucking Honda.
Yep.
You know, and it didn't. It was so disappointing. And the funny thing is, everybody that was there, the top guys, the real estate professionals that I know, were walking around like, the fuck's up with the staging? You know?
Yeah.
I was like, right? The staging is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like, it was just class B in like probably class B in a AAA, environment that you should have had. It's just horrible.
Your client in Miami, she moves the houses quick.
Oh, man. Fucking fast, man.
Fucking fast.
Fast. And the work she does, I swear to God, bro. So she does major renovation. To a point, it could be considered ground up almost, right?
Oh, really? She's
oh my God! Like, I'll show you after this.
The whole night.
Yeah. And so she's going through shit in 4 months, where it would take 18 months for a normal person. I mean, but what I love about her is, and what people don't understand, if you see her, she's a beautiful lady, right? And she's got everything, but she's got the look. First off, she has that look. She's got the prestige look. And we're friends. But she is on top of every motherfucker like you've never seen before. And that's why she gets shit done. It's like she comes in for a draw. She'll send in for a draw request at like 10 in the morning. My office doesn't open up because we're on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. And by 10:30, I'm like, where's my fucking draw? I'm like, Maria, it's 8:30. These motherfuckers getting to the office at 9.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yep.
But people don't understand that that's how you have to be.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So I'm just doing a flip myself. And you know, me and you've been around, right? Mm-hmm. And we've seen so much shit of how shit could go sideways.
I've been through it all.
Right?
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it. So we also understand how important certain things are. Yeah. Like the fucking, just even the simple thing is a contract, right?
Yeah.
I have 3 people that own a house. There better be 3 fucking signatures on that fucking contract.
Highly litigious field.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what do you hear? We have a power of attorney. I hear power of attorney, I want to go and start batting people in the head. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, that to me already is an issue.
I want to give you a great lead generating source. You just sparked my interest. So what I'll do is I'll find properties that I like.
Yeah.
They're owned by an LLC.
Okay.
I'll go to Secretary of State, find out that they're inactive,
okay,
and put them under contract. It doesn't matter what for. And then I'll hold them hostage and say you couldn't contract. Legally, you couldn't contract. What are we going to do now?
That's great.
Yeah, so highly litigious. I love the real estate law part of
that's great.
Of like all
that's
of it.
Great.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's brilliant shit. That's great.
Huh?
Wow.
Yeah,
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, find something you like.
Yeah,
make sure that all the annual filings are down. You know, and if they're not,
that's great.
And they're inactive, put them under contract.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, but see, you using the law for your benefit. So for me, I do this, and this is the first deal that I'm doing with someone that wants to do business with me, right? So I got my attorney involved right away, right? Yep. Like, and she's a pit bull. Yeah. She's just fucking crazy. You would never guess, man. No. I call her the Korean assassin. She looks like a supermodel, but she'll fucking cut you down like a samurai. Like, you know, she's the type she'll cut your head will fall off next week, right? You'll be like, why did my head fall off? Right? Like, that's how she is, right? Yeah. So she gets on the call with these, you know, and it's a wholesaler, and I hate wholesalers for the most part, right? So she's just demolishing from everywhere, right? And then, so the guy calls me. He says, "We have the title." I said, "What title?" He goes, "We have the title report." So, all right, I'm not using that title report. No, you know, that was part of the agreement. I said, let me explain something to you. I'm like, oh, hold on. Yeah. I said, when you're calling a motherfucker that's been in business for 35 years, I said, the shit that I've forgotten, you wish that you could fucking learn. Yeah, I'm with right? You. I'm with you. I said, I have gotten fucked so hard in my life, right ways and left ways, that I said,
what's the worst one you took? I want to hear.
Oh my God, man. I have so many, but let me tell you this. So I told this guy, I said, do you understand that this is a RESPA violation?
Yeah.
So you can actually get fucked.
Yeah.
I said, what you're telling me, if you're even trying to force me to steer me into using your title company, I said, you're out of your fucking mind to even make this call. Yeah. Go call your attorney first.
Yeah.
Call the corporate attorney. Tell him what you just told me, and he's going to tell you, shut the fuck up. Call that guy up and tell him I'm sorry. I will never bring that up to you ever again.
Yeah.
So how did I get fucked?
What's the worst one you've been through?
I bought a house in the 90s, in 1993 or 1994.
I was walking out of high school in 91.
And we had a guy that was friendly with my father, and what this guy was doing that we didn't know, he was just a scumbag, and he ended up in prison, which he deserved. What he was doing was finding elderly people in Brooklyn, okay? People that were old as shit, and then basically stealing properties from them.
Having them sign deeds,
right? Without them even knowing what they're doing, okay? Like giving them $2,000 or $1,500, right? And so we ended up buying 3 properties from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Back then it was like $750,000, right? And after we closed, attorney general, everything that, we basically lost everything because it was fucked. And then we had to go through the title insurance and everything like that. Mm-hmm. But I'll give you the best of the best. So back when I started lending, there wasn't like, you grew up similar to me. I graduated high school in 1990. You graduated when?
91, 92, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a couple of years older than you. But I got into the business in 1989 when I was 17. Mm-hmm. Okay? I owned my first mortgage company at the age of 26.
Okay.
So back then, there wasn't the internet. We didn't have any of this stuff.
Yep.
The appraisals weren't coming in like this. I mean, people had to go out there and actually take pictures, mm-hmm. and that's how it was. Like, information wasn't flowing as fast as it's flowing today, mm-hmm. right? So this flipper, we used to call speculator. This flipper was a client of ours that would refer us business. So he would fix the properties, and then he would, say, refer us and say, hey, go use, Steve. Yep. He's a great guy. He's going to take care of you. So we end up, he supposedly built or fixed 6 properties in 1 block in Brooklyn. Okay. We get the loans on all 6 properties. We go to closing, close the deals. Okay. About 30 days or 45 days later, first payment defaults. None of them make a payment. We're like, what the hell is this? I send my brother, who was my partner at the time, to go check out the homes or even knock on the doors, because we couldn't get in contact with the borrowers or anything. He goes, he says, Steve, there's only 1 out of the 6 homes that's complete. The rest of them were complete burnouts. I said, what are you talking about? We have appraisals mm-hmm. showing that these homes are complete. He's like, nope, they're fucking burnouts.
Oh my God.
Right? So now, and we did FHA loans on all of these. So go figure. Right? Back then?
Yeah.
So there's a big, massive investigation. So what this guy did, okay, he sold every house to 4 different people.
No shit.
Okay? He set up the closings within the same day. So he sold 6 homes to 4 different people. That's 24 closings that he had. Okay? With the promise, and he had told people, hey, just close. And when you close, I'm going to fix the property afterwards to the way that you want. So now we're involved in this big, massive lawsuit. We lost about, back then, we lost like $3 million or something like that, just, in total.
Yep.
With so many things, man.
Yeah.
I've gotten jacked so many times. The worst is in like places like Houston. Houston, I've lost well over $5 million over time.
Really?
I keep going back like an idiot. I'm like dumb dog. I'm like that fucking idiot dog. Like, I don't learn my lesson in Houston. Every time I do something in Houston, I get fucked.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I hate Houston. It's the worst fucking city on the planet. But I'll get suckered into another deal in Houston. Yeah. What's the worst thing that happened to you?
I've been through a foreclosure, a bankruptcy, and a tax audit. All 3 of them. Not at the same time, okay. Thank fucking God.
You got foreclosed on?
Yeah, I was actually foreclosed on when I was younger. I was in the bar business.
Oh.
I started out in the bar business, and then the first house that I had, we wound up getting foreclosed on. I wound up filing bankruptcy to trigger the stay so that I could stay because I had nowhere to fucking go. So those 2 things kind of happened simultaneously. Learned a ton from that. Yeah. And then woke up one day to a $598,000 tax bill. I was like, what the fuck happened here? And it was a CPA. I didn't know the difference between a bookkeeper and a CPA.
Right.
I thought that a CPA was the price. It's not. Right. it's not that.
Yeah.
It's my wife, then my bookkeeper, then my kids. Like literally in that order for me, because without her, I'm totally dead.
Yeah, me too.
So I didn't realize that was the most important, kind of piece of the puzzle. And I wound up, I mean, I had to sell off some stuff, to get rid of that, that tax bill, but that's never fun.
Oh, I've been there, man.
And I've been,
I mean, I got crushed. I was one of the top lenders in downstate New York from 2002 to 2007 when the meltdown happened. I mean, I had $12 million in liquid cash sitting with Lehman Brothers.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Right? And that was the last of it. I lost 90% of my net worth within 3-week time span.
Yeah.
Panic, bad mistake after panic, bad mistake, and then making good on shit that I should have never made good on.
Yep.
Just because I just, it was just such a fucking mistake. So I tell people I went from never looking at a price tag in 3 weeks. I went from not looking at a price tag on anything to not being able to buy a hamburger.
Yeah.
Legitimately. Yeah. I couldn't afford, in 3 weeks, I couldn't afford to buy myself a hamburger.
I don't really trust anybody who hasn't been through some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you've got to go through.
They're lying. I think people are bullshitting.
Yeah.
It's almost like people that pretend or always say, you're married, right?
Yeah.
And you know how marriage is. Marriage is work. I have a great wife, fantastic wife, right? And you have a fantastic wife, right?
Yeah, a long time.
But you can't tell me you don't fight with your wife ever, right? Or that everything, or you've never had this situation with your marriage. That's just a fucking lie. If you've been married over 20 years, there's going to be points where there's some serious stress in that marriage, right?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And more than likely, it's your fault or my fault.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're fucking assholes.
Yeah.
But that's just how it is. Yeah. So if you haven't, you're right. If you haven't been through some shit, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
And if you're lying about your marriage, you're just an idiot. Why? Why even lie? You know? Just don't tell me. Like, if you've been married 3 years, you've never had a fight or whatever.
Yeah.
We've been married fucking 20 years. You've had some stress on your marriage.
My wife and I have been together so long that 3 days ago we woke up to a text from my cousin wishing me a happy anniversary, and I looked at my wife and I go, "Is today our fucking anniversary?" She's like, "Yeah, it's your anniversry."
Yeah.
I'm like, "How did we even forget?"
Yeah. I'm the same way.
That's how long we've been together.
Well, it's great. It's
Stacy's the best.
Well, I tell her, I'm like, but if I didn't have my wife, I'd probably be in a ditch somewhere. I wouldn't even know how to operate. I don't know how to do anything.
My wife is polar opposite of me.
Yeah.
I'm the business guy, go. And she's like, you have to fucking chill.
Mine too.
You got to chill out. Your head's going to explode.
Yeah. Mine too.
I'm like, let it explode.
Yeah.
Let's go out sideways if we're going to go,
I agree. So tell me about what a lot of people don't understand is risk and reward, right? Do you agree with me? If you don't risk anything, and it could be anything, a lot of people, when I say risk, they automatically think I mean money, right? But it's not even money, because time is also money. Yeah. And if you're not risking at least your time, which is equivalent to money, as you know, then you're never going to get out of the situation that you want to be out of.
Which are the two things that I negotiate most in a seller finance deal is I trade time for money.
Okay.
Right? Because the two most important things, just like you said, are time and money. Yeah, we want faith, family, fitness, health, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, the only two movers for people are time and money.
It's true, 100%.
So risk can come in a few different variations, right? Yeah. And I think, I kind of equate it to sport, right? You can't get a hit if you're not swinging the bat.
100%.
You got to swing the bat.
You got to
swing. And if you don't swing, you better lay down a bunt and hope you make it to first.
I agree with you. It's like what's shocking to me. It always is all these fucking people that make excuses. That doesn't shock you?
I don't even like the word excuse because there's so much of that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't even know. Like even sometimes in my own family, I'll feel like they're making an excuse and they're like, that's not an excuse. I'm like, that is a fucking excuse.
Yeah.
Stop bitching.
I agree with you.
Just go make the thing. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on out here anyway. but people do it. So just go do it.
Just go fucking do it.
Go fucking do something.
Just fucking do something. I agree with you. It's like, I think but do you think it's a generational thing? Do you think it's like in our generation, just people just fucking did shit and never complained? I don't know. Is it? You think that's what it is?
I think it's definitely it's a different time.
Yeah.
That's why my girl is probably stronger than my sons in certain ways, right? Because I spent a lot of time with her making sure that she wasn't going to get fucked. The two boys, right? Like they're men. You got a little bit more of an edge to yourself. Like I can teach you some stuff without having to spend every waking moment with you. But with my daughter, we're going to make sure that you don't fuck around or get fucked around with.
I agree. Same with my daughter.
So, So I think it's how you raise them, right? And I think you and I, are cut from the same cloth. So it's all about, just giving them responsibility, keeping them accountable, and showing them how to take risks. Like my son yesterday, literally in the kitchen, he's like, I'm going to be so much fucking farther ahead than you. I'm like, you little prick. Yeah. You're going to be so much farther ahead because I'm the dad. Yeah. I'm not your father. I'm your dad.
It's true. You know what I tell my boys? I tell my boys that the only man in your life that's ever going to want you to do better than him is me.
Yeah. You're the only real friend.
There's going to be no other man in your life that's ever going to want you to excel, right? More than himself. And that's only going to be your dad.
Yep.
But the other thing that, excuse is, my son had a baseball game. He's a tremendous baseball player. He's young. He's 11, but kid's like a fucking he's beast. He batted 1,000 yesterday, right? Shit. They lost, and he's not on the best team, right? Yeah. Which hurts him. But I told him you have to learn how to lose because you're always winning. Yeah. Right? Yeah. I'm not telling you to accept loss, but you have to learn. And so yesterday, let's talk about excuses. He made an error. Okay? But he batted 1,000. And we're going to the car. And I'm like, dude, you made that error. It cost 2, runs to be scored, blah, blah, blah. And he goes to me, well, it's not just Dad. It's just, I can't keep carrying the team. I said, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, A, calm the fuck down. Yeah. B, don't make excuses.
Yeah. Go carry the team.
But own up to the fact that you contributed to the fucking loss.
Yeah.
It's not just them.
Stick him in 14, you.
Fuck yeah.
Stick him in 14. Let him play out.
100%. But he won't do that, So, now, we're in 2025. I can't believe half the year is over with.
Yeah.
Where do you see the trend in real estate going?
I think the market's definitely changing. I think the last party boat for sellers left probably in late November.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 segments of the market that are going to kill. I think the high-end luxury.
Yeah.
Because of a few different things, right? We've got, the boomers. Everybody looking at downsides. Yeah. They're sitting on a ton of fucking money.
A lot.
That high-end luxury market, people are coming in all cash.
Yeah.
The numbers are never going to pencil for a fucking loan, right? So they're coming in all cash.
All cash.
And then the other segment of the market, I think, is really first-time home buyer sub 300. Anything over 350, 400,000 isn't going to pencil against the rental.
What do I always say? What did he just say? I always say affordable and unaffordable.
Everything in the middle is dead.
It's fucking dead.
Dead.
I swear to you, Mike, I say this all the time. All the time. I say either stick with affordable housing or get into unaffordable housing.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Or then pick a fucking niche. Like you have a niche.
Yeah.
Glamping, fucking tree homes. I don't give a shit what it is. Something that is niche-y.
Yeah.
Get into some sort of niche.
The riches are in the niches.
That's it, man. Yeah. That's what it is. So I'm glad that you say the same thing. You stay in the middle of the fucking road, you're gonna get run over. You're fucking dead.
Yeah, you're dead.
And that market is just getting crushed. Will it come back? 100%. It's gonna come back at some point.
People don't understand interest. They don't understand interest rates.
No.
So for people like you and I, who jump into the psychology of a buyer and a seller, we know what makes them tick.
Yep.
We know what they're worried about, which is that monthly payment. Yep. That's all they're worried about. The fucking rate could be 22%, but if it's $1,400 a month and I can afford it, I'm cool with it.
Yes.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
You stay uneducated. Yeah. I'll keep structuring loans.
Yeah. I love it. No, you're absolutely right.
You know.
Yeah. It's what I try to tell people is like, well, I want to get into why. Well, I said, why are you waiting on the sidelines? You're sitting on some money. Well, I just think I want the market to pick up. I know you realize that when the fucking market picks up, you're just going to start paying more for whatever you could have bought for cheap today. Yeah.
I try to take a little bit of a macro view. Maybe you might agree with this. Maybe you might not agree with it. But like, it's a lot more difficult to get started than when we got started. I feel like we're probably the last generation, right? 2008, 2009, we had the crash. Yeah. If you didn't ride this fucking wave, I think you're going to find it pretty difficult to try to make a run. Maybe, I don't know if real estate would be the right vehicle almost. I'm starting to like think about it in a way.
You think?
I don't know. I just think that it's so difficult for fucking people. Like, I know my kids are 20.
Yeah.
I just spoke to your assistant, right? We were talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like the affordability is so fucking difficult.
It's difficult, but
and you've got to find an emerging market.
Yes. But you have to be willing to do that, though.
That's the risk reward.
I agree with you 100%. I think if you want to live where you grew up, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And especially if you're living in a major city, let's say like Charlotte, right? Like you're kind of screwed, or we're from New York,
Yep.
But if you're willing to take that chance and go to a place like the outskirts of Nashville, or right now Huntsville, Alabama, right? Or Birmingham, Alabama, where places like that are, like you said, that are emerging, and you're willing to do that. If you're willing to make that move, then you can catch some sort of run, because those places are kind of booming and they're going to pick up, right? I don't know if you've had a chance to like take a drive around here.
I did.
There's plenty of opportunities still around here.
A shit ton.
It's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, a shit ton. I was looking at it on the way.
I mean, like, you're never going to go into another city that's booming like this and still see swaths of fucking empty land.
Yeah.
Like parking lots.
Yeah.
I look at that shit, I'm like, holy shit. There's still this, land here that could be developed. You just don't see that. Like, go to a place like, I don't know if you've been to Austin. Have you been to Austin before?
I have not been to Austin, no.
So Austin 10 years ago was like this. Now you can't even find 4 inches of land.
Oh, really?
Like you don't see it, So tell me something. When did you get into real estate, and how did you get into real estate? What took you?
I was in the bar business.
Okay.
And I opened up a bar
up in
Rockland.
Okay.
I started out as an actor. I went to school for theater.
Oh, wow.
In Manhattan. And then I moved out to LA for a little while.
Nice.
And then I came back to New York and opened up a bar in Rockland.
Okay.
That's when the last call was 4:00 in the morning.
Yep.
And people were out there drinking.
Yep.
And we were raking cash into a garbage bag.
It
was fucking bananas.
I owned part of a bar.
We didn't save a penny of it. We were just raking it in with a fucking lawn rake. Yeah. And I was about to lose the lease there. Okay. And I had like $7 or $8 grand. Yeah. And I went out to Sacramento, California to learn from a lady from Long Island on how to do subject to deals.
Wow. Okay.
And I thought what I had learned I was going to be able to bring back to New York, not realizing that California was a deed of trust state. Yeah. New York mortgage. Yeah. So I came back thinking I was hot shit. Going to put everything that I learned to use. And I quickly realized I'm in fucking trouble and I'm about to go broke here.
Yeah.
And at the same time, she recommended me for an article.
Yeah.
And because I was such a great student, that the next thing I know, a guy flies in from Pittsburgh. Okay. And I'm like shitting my pants trying to look the part. I got a buddy who's got a 911. I go, I need your 911. I had one appointment kind of set up. And 3 weeks later, I was on the front page of the Wall Street Journal.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
That's awesome.
Like on the front cover.
Talk about
I'm like, I got no fucking business being on this thing at all.
Right.
Like, my face with the thumbprint, the whole thing. And I'm like, holy shit. And luckily, I had enough money discipline. I had a lot of investors reach out to me and they're like, take it. I'm like, I'm not fucking taking it. I'm going to go to jail if I take it.
Yeah.
But what I did do is I had like 3 people call me about her.
Okay.
And they're like, should we take the course? And I go, well, I mean, I've got this course too.
Okay.
And I was like, I couldn't rub 2 nickels together.
Yeah.
So I had trained like 2 or 3 people.
Okay.
Made a little cake.
Yeah.
And then immediately jumped into the traditional real estate and got my license.
Okay. In New York.
Yep. Got my license, wound up showing people houses, fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Walking in, oohing and on about bathrooms. I'm like, I want to rip that down. I want to do that. I want to fix it all.
Yeah.
Jumped into the investment side and then started flipping houses with my brother.
Okay.
So like you, I've got one, I don't know if you have one brother, but I got one brother. And
I have one.
Me and my brother started flipping houses.
Up in Rockland still.
Up in Rockland,
yeah.
Yep. And then we were making some great money, but I didn't realize at the time that we were all partners with the government.
Yeah.
And how much of a partner do you want to be?
Yeah.
So we were selling them all, making great rips, paying the capital gains tax on them, getting fucking creamed. And then, up and down, bought some, sold some, bought some, sold some. And then this whole Instagram thing kind of took off for me with a wholesaler that I was connected to. This guy popped up on my feed and I'm like, this fucking guy's interesting.
Yeah.
And then I know my shit about, I don't know everything, but I feel like I know my shit about real estate.
Yeah.
I can confidently say
you do.
I can fucking hang in any conversation.
Yeah.
And this guy pops up on my Instagram and I'm like, this guy's fucking interesting.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got this sales course.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to fucking take this thing.
Okay.
So I took it.
Yeah.
Did it help? Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
It was like $2,500. Okay. And I'm on the Zoom and there's 40 fucking heads on the Zoom. I'm like, this is 100 racks.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
I'm like, this is 100 fucking racks this guy's doing, and he's doing it every 6 weeks. Yeah. So I'm laying in bed that night with my wife, and I go, I'm going out to Raleigh to teach this guy creative finance. And she's like, how are you going to do that? I'm like, what kind of a question is that? Watch. Kind of a dumb question is that? It's me, honey. Right? And I shoot him a text, and I go, hey, I'm coming out to Raleigh to show you just how much money you're leaving on the table.
Right.
Because he was doing like $400,000 a month in assignment fees.
Wow.
No joke. No joke. Had a pretty big operation.
That's serious, man.
On non-English speaking cold callers, just banging the phones.
That's so
fucking crazy.
I get so impressed with that shit. I love that shit. See, me, like you, I love when people win. Like I love that. Yeah, that shit makes me happy.
Yep.
I'm like, fuck, that motherfucker like $400,000 a month. That's awesome.
A month.
That's fucking awesome.
Like legit.
That's awesome.
I'm like, show me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
So he goes, how much?
Yeah.
And I go, well, I got a choice here. I can either throw out a number or I could just go do this thing.
Yeah.
And I said, forget about the money.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my media guy. I didn't have a media guy at the time.
Yeah.
I said, I'm bringing my media team and I'm going to come in and I'm going to show you what you're missing. Well, I came in and they were fucking mind blown. They shut the office down for the entire day. And I said to this media guy who I had never met before, I go, if you miss a minute of this, I'm going to kill you. Do not miss a minute of it. Okay. And I said, make sure you get all the reactions, blah, 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 blah. I trained him and his course was a 6-week course. So I went to his place after the first week of his course. There were 5 weeks to go. So on the next class, he goes, so before we start today's session, I just got to tell you, see that guy up on the left-hand corner of your screen right there? He goes, his Cash Money Mike. He goes, that fucking guy, if you ever want to learn how to buy creative properties, you go fucking see that guy. And my phone blew up. And they're like, when can I take your course? And I'm like, I ain't got a fucking course. They're like, how much is your course? And I'm like, well, my course is the same amount that you paid for this course. It's the same amount of time. I have everything in my head the way you have everything in your head, right? I mean, we could put it down on a whiteboard in a minute if we had to. So I came up with a little curriculum, and then all of a sudden, I had, 10, 20, 30, 40 people show up a class, and I was like, awesome. Oh, this is fucking cool.
That's awesome.
And then I've had, more importantly, I had very successful, like, people make a run at it and actually do the fucking thing.
Yeah. And make money.
And make money doing it.
Because that's the important part, right?
That's the important part. Yep. And then I taught one guy too much. He actually robbed a deal for me, believe it or not, a fucking student.
Did it make you happy, though?
It made me happy. Yeah, I let him go. I was going to go after him. I'm like, let me fucking let him go. Fucking $1 million.
Oh, wow. Okay.
$1 million. I let him go.
I would have been 50-50 on it, miserable and happy like you.
Yeah, exactly. So I let him go. Yeah. And then from there, the Instagram blew up. I know that you asked how I got started in real estate, but this is probably the most important part.
This is great.
Yeah. So the Instagram blew up. I caught a rip.
Okay.
With millions of views, which is how you found me.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude. And I'm like, I'm going to love this guy. Yeah. I'm like, he starts every video with this fucking idiot. I'm like, I love this. And I was chopping 100 heads a month and you're going, this fucking idiot. And I'm like, oh, this guy's going to be awesome. And then, from there, I just started speaking on, from stage and stuff. And
that's awesome.
Selling product, doing podcasts and stuff. Now there was just a big opportunity in the traditional real estate broker side of things that I thought I can bring creative into it and do more investment. I think there's a little bit of a honey hole, because when you think from like an investment standpoint, you think real estate broker, you got a residential broker and a commercial broker.
Yep.
And you think investment, you think commercial broker.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And commercial broker is scary to a lot of people who are in the residential side who want to get into the investment.
Yep.
So I think what I'm going to wind up doing is probably filling a big gap from investment real estate brokerage on a smaller scale, light commercial, turnkey single family. You want to give it to Section 8, shit like that.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think
there's a market for that.
I like to say the smart realtors always fucking move into commercial. That's why the residential real estate guys are such idiots, Yeah,
crazy.
Because if you're a halfway decent commercial broker, you actually understand real estate, in my opinion.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, those motherfuckers, they actually have some sense. They know what's a good deal. They know how to, they understand the real estate game for the most part. Where residential fucking real estate guys, 98%, 99% of them are just fucking useless, complete useless.
Which is the reason why they join NAR.
Yes.
And they become a realtor.
Correct.
Because now we've got a code of ethics that we're going to subscribe to.
But that's why the wholesalers and guys like you, well, now you're a realtor, but...
I'm not a realtor. Well, I'm a real estate broker.
You're a real estate broker. You're right.
I'm different.
You're a real estate broker. But it's the guys that are out of that box are the ones that find the massive success. The people that are in the box really don't.
Yeah, because
do you agree with that?
I agree with that. I think people become... So the MLS has become a cesspool of inexperienced agents.
Idiots, yeah.
Who all become a realtor, don't realize that they don't need to become a realtor to sell real estate.
Correct.
It's a voluntary fucking trade organization. You become a realtor, subscribe to a code of ethics because you're scared.
Yep.
You want to level the playing field.
Yep.
I don't want to level the playing field.
But that's why you're doing well.
Yeah. I don't want to, everybody's like, I love competition. I'm like, I want a fucking monopoly.
Yeah, I agree.
And if I can't get a monopoly, in the words of Sam Zell, I want an oligopoly.
Listen, I'm with you, But I'll tell you something. Like, I did something on halfway homes because I have a buddy of mine that does. He's got halfway homes. It's funny. People don't realize when you're from New York, probably 50% of your friends at some point, went on vacation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just how it is.
True.
It's the truth, right? I mean, do the numbers.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have plenty of. I have family members.
I got family members. Yeah.
So this one came out after 10 years, and he started to do two things: halfway homes and Airbnb near prisons. Okay?
Yeah.
Because he went to federal prison and,
Yeah.
and he's killing it. So I posted about that stuff and I get these guys like, oh, your friend must fucking hate you. Why would you even, betray him and say, I'm like, dude, what's this motherfucker going to do? Mm-hmm. Is he going to buy every motherfucking house around every prison?
Yeah.
Like he can't even manage what he has. Like, you got to, like you have a course that you're sharing your knowledge. Like, you can't be a fucking hoarder. Like, I hate people like that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Like, but I have
scarcity mindset.
Yeah, it's scarcity. There's so much abundance. There's so much shit. There's so many. What people don't understand is there's so many different ways to make money, as you know.
I think that's where I think opportunity lies for guys like us again, is people think of real estate, they think it's a house or they think it's a structure. Mm-hmm. They don't realize it's the house, the land, the bundle of rights, all the stuff you can't see that's under the ground, and how you can create opportunity in that stuff. You're either educated or you're not. If you're not educated nowadays, you're fucked.
I have a great story for you. So I have a friend here. Mm-hmm. He owns a house in a place called Brentwood. It's a suburb of Nashville. Okay, he lives in an unincorporated part of Brentwood, so that means he can do whatever the fuck he wants to that land.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got 5 acres behind the house that there's like trees and shit. It's like untouched. Okay, it's just raw ass land. He was complaining about money to me. This is like 4 or 5 months ago. So I told him, I said, listen, you live in unincorporated land. Mm-hmm. You got 5 acres behind your fucking house, right?
I know where this is going. Yeah.
I said, the first thing you should do is build a fucking sick tree house. Mm-hmm. He's like, what? I go, take some money, whatever you got, build a sick tree house. I said, then rent out the tree house when your daughter is not using it. So he did that. He started renting it out for like $600 a night, $650. Now he's got 10 tents, like glamping fucking tents.
Oh, shit. 4
tree homes, all in this fucking 5 acres.
Wow.
He's making a fucking killing every month.
Wow.
So I sat down with him. We had coffee the other day. He's like, man, if I have another kid, I don't give a shit if it's a girl. I'm calling that motherfucker Steve. He's like, you completely changed my life, and I don't know how I could ever thank you. Just off of his personal residence, this motherfucker is ripping like $40,000, $50,000 a month now. It's crazy.
Shit.
It's crazy.
I thought you were going to tell me that you're going to have it all subdivided. You'll take 3 of them. He'll take 2 of them.
No, he didn't need to. But think about what he did. Because, I lend money to a lot of people, right? And we were really big in the DSCR, lending on DSCR back then.
Are you a direct lender?
Yeah, direct lender.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we were doing a lot of, I actually created the DSCR. I helped create the DSCR loan in 2014,
really?
Believe it or not. Yeah. No I was one of the only people that was doing DSCR for like 5 years before anyone knew what it was. Okay.
No shit.
So I get a call. No. Sorry. So someone hit me up on IG. Okay, on Instagram. He says, Steve, you don't know who I am, but I was one of your borrowers 4 years ago. Okay? Because I've been talking about glamping and other ways, like alternative things to Airbnb or fucking short-term rental, right? He said that he borrowed money from me 4 years ago on a DSCR. He said about a year ago, he put up a tree house, a beautiful tree house. And he said, because he's seen my recent videos, he said, Steve, you'll never believe it. My fucking tree house makes more money for me than my house. He's like, he's got 100% occupancy on the tree house at $650, depending on when it is in the year, $650 to $800 a night.
No shit.
Yes. And he only has a 60% occupancy at best on this house.
No shit.
Crazy.
6.5 a night?
Yes. I mean, it's in a beautiful place in California. I mean, obviously it depends on where you are, But
so what are you looking for now? You're looking for a big open spot?
Oh, me, man, I've been looking, I'm just looking to glamp. I think, listen, think about this. Like me and you, we come from the same thing, right? Like you said, we're opportunists.
Yep.
That's what I like to call people like me and you.
Professional opportunists.
We're professional opportunists.
Amen.
What does that mean?
Amen.
There's a fucking opportunity.
Amen.
We're going to take the fucking opportunity,
Amen.
right?
Yep.
And trends change, right? And you got to just ride the train.
You got to roll.
So now I've been seeing that with these glamps, right? These domes or whatever, you could create a dome, let's say for anywhere between 18,000 to 22,000. Okay,
Shit.
It's not bad, no, right?
Cheap.
So now, even if you're getting, let's say $300, $250 a night,
pay back in year one,
less. So I did the calculation. You make the money back probably within 6, maximum 7 months. Now you're 100% cash flowing on that investment.
Yeah.
You're not getting that with
no
a
well,
house.
no septic, no city water, no sewer.
You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you get a place that has a well, or you could bring in some electricity. So usually what's good is if you find like a piece of property that has like a small house on it, it's sitting on 10 fucking acres. The house is a piece of shit. No one could do it. No one really wants the fucking piece of shit house, but it's sitting on 4, 5, 6 acres. It already has water running through it with electricity. It's a little bit easier because then you could take it to the back. But if you don't, you could use rainwater.
Yep.
You could use just different forms. You could use solar energy and things like that. Like there's just so many different ways that you could cut this. And how about this?
Putting up little grill sections.
Yes. Yeah, a little grill section. But even the more rugged and fucked up it is, the new generation of kids like it even more.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Coming in with the Tacomas and the Forerunners.
Where me and you would be like, there's no fucking way I'm staying here, right? But that's what's going to make us more money. The place, the fucking place that me and you would never like even stay in. That's it, man. And that's the opportunity. And you should look into that. You really should.
You don't do anything in Charlotte? You don't do like any property in Charlotte?
I've lent in Charlotte before, but I haven't bought anything. I don't own anything in Charlotte.
That would crush in Charlotte.
Let's do it.
That would crush.
Look, you want to do it?
Yeah, I do.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to look for a piece of land.
Let's fucking do it.
I'm serious.
Yeah. I mean,
that would crush in Charlotte.
But somewhere like Charlotte, right? So if we could find, like, let's say a piece of land that's useless.
I got the perfect spot.
We just put up the fucking
right off 85.
So if, let's go. Let's rock.
I'm going to look. I'm going to look.
But that's like the perfect, and this is exactly what she would want. The other one sitting on the bench, over there. That's the target market right there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's not for me and you, like I said.
No,
we're like, fuck.
No.
I'm not doing that shit.
I'll be down at the Soho Grand.
Yeah, you're in the Soho. You're in the Soho House, Soho Grand, or you're just trying to look again, not because we're posh.
I understand. Yeah.
We've traveled through a certain life, and at this point in our life, like you say, like I love when you're posting. Like I do the same shit when I'm sitting in first class. People are like, is it showing off? No, this is the point of fucking life I've come to.
Yeah.
It's what I've earned.
Yeah.
Right? No one fucking handed me one motherfucking penny.
That's
just
my
like they never gave you one. Right? Now, there's nothing wrong with fucking sitting in coach. I did that shit for most of my fucking life. I tore my ass. I was the motherfucker that was sitting all the way in the back next to the fucking bathroom. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay? Like I fucking suffered like you have, right?
Yeah.
Like I have stayed in shitholes where a prison was probably fucking better, right?
Yeah.
But that was a younger age. I didn't have the money and I needed the experience, right? At this point, I need the fucking Four Seasons.
Yeah.
I need St. Regis. Like, unless I'm getting that, I'm not going anywhere. My wife knows. Like, I'm not fucking, I am not roughing it. I'm too fucking old, too angry. I'm just going to nitpick. I'm going to just destroy. I'll destroy the fucking vacation. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the one, and she'll be pissed off at me because she'll roll with, like, your wife. She'll make the best of it, and I'll be like, what the fuck is this? Like, the bathroom smells funny, and she'll go in, no, it doesn't. I fucking don't like this fucking bathroom. Shower curtain. She already knows. Like, I'm so sick in the fucking head, bro. She already knows that if we're staying at a hotel, this is how crazy I am. I can't have a shower in a fucking bathtub. that, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I need a fucking standalone shower.
Yeah.
With the door that closes, not
Yeah.
that shit that's fucking half open.
Yeah.
You know?
You like what you like.
Well, that's just me.
Yeah, you deserve it.
But that doesn't mean that's the trend. That shit's over with, you know? So the glamping is sick, man. Like, it's sick. It's such a good opportunity. It's such a great opportunity.
There's a couple of niche spots in Charlotte for like little watering holes and stuff that people go to. I don't know if you've ever been to any of them, but yeah, there's that niche kind of thing that you could, especially like west of Charlotte, right? So like right around, I got a perfect area for this, like McGaddenville and Belmont and raw land like crazy.
So, the only thing is, the price of the land has to be, Well,
that's easy.
Yeah,
we buy it on seller finance.
Yeah, if you could get the seller finance and we just put up the fucking tents.
Buy it on seller finance.
Just put up the fucking tents, man.
Those are the easiest deals to put together.
And
you're not making them any money.
Nope. No, and
awesome.
That's the way to do it. So we got our first business that we're going to do.
There we go, man. I'm excited. I'm excited.
We're going to do a fucking follow-up on this. Like,
yeah.
6 months later, how do we do?
No, I'm like seriously going to make a call as soon as I get out of here and be like, start looking for this.
So you see, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. A man in action, right? You hear something and you take action, right? It's like, you have friends too, probably still back at home, right? That are still doing the same fucking shit and complaining. My life sucks, this and that, right? And what I try to tell people is, you're always trying to, your formula is 2 + 2, and you're always trying to get 6, but you're always ending up with fucking 4, and you're wondering why is it? Because you didn't change the fucking 2 + 2, right? And that's because no one takes action. No one wants to fucking take action,
I can't take enough of it. I feel like now, especially at this age right now, I'm not one to look back, but you're starting to look in the rear view just a little bit. You're like, all right, you're looking at the watch, you're like, fucking time's ticking here.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you, but the thing is, like, I think at some point you become almost like a deal junkie also, right?
Yeah. Amen.
Like you get excited for the deal. Like, it's that adrenaline that comes in to create something.
Through and through.
Yeah, like me.
through and through. I got rid of all the bad vices. Now I just do the good stuff.
In my business, my product is money, right? So when the rates were moving and I thought the economy was going to go sideways, not that we needed the money, I told my wife, I said, it's always good, and I give everybody this advice, to go and get a HELOC when you see shit going sideways. Yeah. Right? Yep. Don't use the HELOC if you don't need it. Yep. Right? A HELOC is home equity line of credit. Don't fucking draw on the thing unless you need it. Right? But it's a good safety net to have. Right? So we go get the HELOC. About 3 weeks later, my wife wants to, do something to the kitchen. Right? So she goes to go check out the line, because I told her, I said, if you want to do it, just tap into the HELOC. And out of $250,000, there's $248,000 that I had drawn, right? She's like, there's fraud. Somebody did fraud. Someone took this money, right? And I'm like, no, well, no one took the money.
Let me see the statement.
She's like, what are you talking about? I said, I lent the money out. It's like, what do you mean you lent the money out? I said, you can't give a fucking guy who sells oranges and not expect him to fucking say, how come there's no fucking oranges? Yep. I said, so I do shit with the money like you do. Yeah. It's like when you have money.
I'm always cash poor.
It's always.
Always.
So as I do, right? Like I'll sit down, like my clientele, they'll come in and they'll be like, oh yeah, I built this, I built that. And I always tell people, a great builder is the one that I know has a lot of assets, and I'll look in their bank account and they've got like $10. Yeah.
The
motherfucker's worth, $30 million. He's got $10 in the bank. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always cash poor.
You see how that is?
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. They're like, well, could you get involved in this deal? I'm like, hey, do you know what my business is? I lend people money. If I'm sitting on fucking major swaths of money, then
Then
I'm not doing my job right.
Yep.
You know, like it's like you. If you're sitting on cash, then you're not doing your job right. Your cash is always active.
I'm all about cash flow, leverage, equity position, pay down.
Yeah.
You know, that's my life.
I love it.
You know,
I love it.
So
I'm creating a course on private money.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah,
Very cool.
We're in the midst of doing it.
Very cool.
Believe it or not, I get hit up all the time about people asking me, how do I get into the private money business?
I have an event tomorrow night. We got a packed house and a private money lender in it, and Atlanta put it together.
Okay.
And he gets all of his leads from brokers.
Okay.
And he's one of the top guys out there. He brokers the money. He doesn't lend direct.
Yeah.
But I think that's insane because I haven't seen that before.
So I get, man, out of, I would say 100 DMs that I get on IG, I would say 50% of them are asking me how to become a private lender.
There you go.
So my whole niche is going to be, because you know as well as I do, there's more people that don't have money than have money, is how to explain to people to get into the private money game without substantial money and resources. Like that's going to be the course.
I'm happy to help you promote that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's going to do well.
I'm happy to do.
You know, I don't know how it's going to do.
I think it's awesome.
You know, it's very niche-y.
Nobody's got that.
No one's got it.
I like that.
But it's very niche. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
I like it.
It's not like your course is not, it's niche-y, but it's got so many more people that you could go after. You know what I'm saying? Mine is just so I'm just the only thing I'm a little worried about.
No. I think you'd be okay. You'd be okay. Yeah, because you got to think about who's teaching what.
Yeah.
Right? Like the lowest hanging fruit, lowest barrier to entry is wholesale.
Yeah.
So what do? They learn the 5-step sales process from somebody. Right? They pull a list.
Yeah.
They skip trace a list.
Yep.
They give it to a non-English speaking cold caller.
Yeah.
And then they get told to fuck off.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And they're all pulling the exact same lists.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that's a blue ocean. I like that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see, you know, but that's this type of shit I always get nonstop. How do I get into private lending? And I tell them, well, you have like $5-6 million sitting on the side. No. Well, unfortunately, it's going to be very difficult for you to get into it like me, you know, but
that's a nice little lead funnel for you too.
You know, I'm going to look, even for someone, but you're too busy, right? But someone like you who has clients,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, you want to increase your profitability.
Yep.
You have clients, you can fund the deals under, Cash Money Mike, LLC.
Yep.
They'll never know it's even my money.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and you make an extra.
You get a bunch of. Yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
2 points.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these realtors. All these realtors are fucking sitting there, like scratching their heads, trying to figure out how to make more money.
Yep.
An extra 25% to anyone's bottom line, 30% to anyone's bottom line is a lot of money. So, to that note, I know this guy because my family, my brother-in-law is big in MCAs, but he only does like $1 million, $2 million merchant cash advances. I know another dude in New York in the boroughs that's lending out, no questions asked, $1,500 to $2,000 to any of these bodegas. Okay, it's probably 200% per annum that he's charging them.
Yeah.
Right. So do the numbers.
Yeah.
And he's got all these bodegas taking the money, 2 G's.
Yep.
And his default ratio is probably like 15-20%. But he's earning 200% on the other 80%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
no brainer.
It's a no fucking brainer.
Yep.
And and people are like, oh, how is he making money? I'm like, that motherfucker's putting out 2,000.
Yeah.
2000s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do the numbers.
Yeah.
That's fucking, do the fucking numbers, $4 million.
Yeah.
That he's earning.
Yeah.
200% on.
Multiples with each deal.
Yeah.
Each lend.
But what ends up happening is it's so good because on $2,000, the payments to them, he's just like, well, you're just going to have to give this back to me, every week. He goes around and he collects every week,
Yeah.
And for them, it's small. Like, they don't even think about it. And they just fucking...
Yep.
And meanwhile, this motherfucker is just cleaning up.
Yep.
You know? I have another friend on an alternative thing. He moved down to Miami. He was Russian, from Brooklyn originally. Went to LA, and then he moved down to Miami right before fucking rates went crazy up, right? And all these, they had all these kids that were just wealthy off of this bullshit Bitcoin stuff, right? Like not Bitcoin, but the other bullshit ones. You remember, like they had the crypto shit?
Yep.
And when everything tanked, when the economy tanked, these motherfuckers, these kids, because they don't know shit, 21 years old, this, that, living in $4, $5, $6 million homes. They were just printing money, these kids, right? And not being responsible. We were there. I did the same shit. You remember? Like you said, you had a bar, fucking 2,000 comes in, 3,000 goes out. You know, it's just how it is. You know, like 5,000 goes in, I'm spending 7,000. You know? So you've been there. So what he did was pawn, right? But just on items like high-end watches, right? Like certain cars, like he would never, like he steers away from antiques because he says like 80% of antiques and shit like that, even in like museums, are fake. Paintings, the same thing. Like he'll never touch it. But like jewelry and stuff like that, you go to him and he would just cut the check. Like take it down to like Johnny. If he says it's real, come here, I'll cut you a $2,000 check, like 50 loan to value. You know, at 4 points to 5 points a month.
Really?
Do the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, and his default ratio is like 50%. At 50 LTV.
Yeah.
I mean, do those numbers. I mean, again, it goes back to what me and you said. There's so many different ways that the people are making money.
Blended rate of return.
You know, it's just, but there's just so many.
You gotta lay it all out.
It's just like, it's mind blowing to me that when people complain to me, they're like, I can't make money. Like, because you're just not looking. There's so many ways you can make money. Well, I don't have enough money. Well, how about this? You have $5,000? What if I teach you a way you could turn 5,000 into 7,500, 75 into 10, 10 into 15, then 15 turns into 30, 30 turns into fucking 60, 60 to 120. They don't understand that you can parlay your money so fast.
It's not large enough for them in the first rip,
second rip. That's the problem. That, it's not significant for them, and and they don't understand that there's a point that you have to start in.
Yep.
Right, and it's for everyone. Not everybody got into money like right away, or has the opportunity to be able to make millions a year. I don't know anyone unless they were handed a business that was able to do that. You know, do you follow Cody Sanchez?
I do. I like Cody.
Cody's great. I mean, she's one of the few millennials I know that's just killing it because she has grit and she has a fucking brain. Yeah. And out of that whole generation, it's like when we were growing up, everybody was a fucking shark. Yep. You know? Then you had some people got to be whales, but it was few and far between. Today, because no one wants to work in this generation, guys that want to work just turn into fucking whales. Like her. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Like, it's like, she's brilliant.
She founded Contrarian Thinking.
I think so.
That newsletter.
Yes. Yep. It's she's the one that she starts buying businesses.
Like laundromats.
Laundromats and shit. And she goes vertical on them.
Yep.
You know, like she just like does different shit.
Yep.
It's so brilliant.
Yeah.
It's just, but she does something similar where she's doing owner financing on those.
That's really the play, right? I mean, that's really the play at the end of the day, especially on the real estate side. If you could buy them on seller finance and put them out on owner finance, you lose 3 of the things that you want from the ownership part. Yeah. And you just get the income part, but you got no fucking headache.
You have no headache.
You got no headache. You don't got to worry about anything.
So she's buying laundromats.
Yep.
Right? Owner finance. She's buying fucking HVAC companies.
Yeah, it's because most of these guys believe they have a business and they bought themselves a job.
bought themselves a job. And the problem is
they can't
the baby
sell it.
boomers, they can't sell it, and their kids want nothing to do with the businesses.
I know.
You know, because the kids because these motherfuckers were probably working, 50 hours a fucking week, 60 hours a week, right? The kids never saw them, and the kids thinking, I don't want to fucking be like dad or mom. That's not what I want. I didn't see that motherfucker ever.
Yep.
He was never able to come to any of my fucking games.
Yeah. My old man.
Right? He was always fucking working.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the last thing that they want because they have such negative connotation to those businesses, right?
Yep.
She's stepping in and she's just buying these businesses and just turning them around.
Yep.
Because more than likely, these baby boomers know shit from Chiola when it comes to social media marketing.
Yep.
So even the EBITDA that they have is probably depressed EBITDA, right?
Yep.
Because they don't do everything is from word of mouth and, the clients they've had for fucking 30 years.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So she's stepping into it.
Yep.
Adding some sort of fucking marketing, jumping that EBITDA, tripling the fucking EBITDA.
Yep.
And now she's got a booming business, and it's crazy.
Yep.
Fantastic. I love it.
A lot of people out there that have these mom and pop shops in all trades.
Are you dabbling in anything like that?
Yeah, I've got my fingers on two little side pieces that like I've had for a minute. You might have seen me like fucking like post up some checks and I go a little side hustle.
Yeah.
But I've given those over to my boys.
Okay.
To kind of like
run,
see how they do it. A lot of the stuff that like I would do way back in the past is like I would just estimate some of the stuff. I don't do any of the physical work at all.
Right.
So I go out, estimate. We have 2 or 3 really good subs.
Okay.
That have been around forever.
Yeah.
It's always the people, right?
100%.
At the end of the day.
100%.
But yeah, there's a lot of money in the trades. There's a lot of fucking money.
Electricians,
crazy,
plumbing,
crazy,
HVAC, crazy fucking money. And people don't realize that.
You follow a guy by the name of Tommy Mello?
No.
You should look at this guy.
Yeah.
He owns A1 Garage Door.
Okay.
You might have seen his trucks.
I think so.
He is out in Arizona.
Okay.
And he's in like 20 states now. Does $250 million a year.
What?
Fucking garage doors.
Holy
fucking
shit.
Garage doors.
That's fucking crazy.
He's got a little training facility in fucking Scottsdale.
Holy fuck! Really?
Yep. His name is Tommy Mello. He's a good guy. You should follow him.
He just went everywhere.
He's been in it for a long time.
All right,
he's been in it for a long time, and then finally something clicked. He's like, I gotta change the way I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Because if I don't change the way I'm doing it, I'm gonna wind up with the same fucking results.
Yeah.
And it was all about stepping back from the day to day, learning how to delegate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing, especially when you're a control freak.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, fuck it, I'll do it. Get 100%. Out of the way.
Delegation.
Get out of the way.
I mean, my executive assistant is there. If I didn't have her, I'd be like going backwards still.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, she's the one. This morning we're on a management call. Steve, get the fuck out of the house. You have to leave.
Yeah.
No, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what she has to do basically because I'd be on the fucking phone.
I know. I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
But delegation is important.
Yeah, you got to be able to delegate.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry, I'm out. It's like, Steve, you got to fucking hang up the phone and get the fuck out of the house.
Yep.
Obviously without the fucks, but
Yep.
I love that, man.
Yep.
Something with that, Phoenix Sun, that hits the brain. I think so many people I know from Arizona, they just burst out with crazy ideas. So, have you seen this flex space? You know what the flex space is?
Yeah, like real estate flex space?
Yeah, real estate flex space.
Yeah.
So there's this Egyptian guy, Middle Eastern guy out of Arizona that really went big on it. Do you know him?
I don't know.
Anyway, that motherfucker was one of our fix and flippers originally. Okay? So about 4 years ago, he came to us. He's like, look, I'm done with fix and flipping. Like, I'm just burnt out. He was doing like 10, 15 projects a month. Like, he was a beast. Yeah, okay?
It's a lot.
A lot. It just fucks you up, man. You got burnt out.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to get into I have this idea, flex space.
Yeah.
Would you guys be willing to fund it? Yeah. We're like, what the fuck is flex space? We're like,
space.
No, absolutely not. Like idiots. We're like, no, we're not interested.
Yeah.
Fucking guy's killing it.
Yeah.
He's killing it, and he's got a course on flex space. He's making probably more money on the fucking course how to do the flex space than he is with the flex space. Yep. But that's another guy, almost like your guy, a little bit different, where just got tired of just grinding, but took his idea, and now he's just killing it.
Yeah.
Are you doing any of the flex space on the shit that you do?
No, I think like iOS is kind of a little bit like flex space without the structure.
Yeah.
Right? Like
you're kind of doing you can kind of
like move different things into it, but that's a real honey hole. That
the flex space? Or what you're doing?
The both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them.
You should even think about doing some of the flex space on the shit that you have.
You know what it is?
Because it doesn't cost, Mike, it's not going to cost you much to put up these fucking bullshit structures, by the way.
It's the structures that are there now. So I had an 8-acre piece. I'm fucking kicking myself in the ass.
Yeah.
I had an 8-acre piece that fronted a 4-lane highway.
Okay.
Just east of Charlotte. It would have been easier to wear a ski mask and carry a pistol. That's how that's how cheap I got the fucking property.
Okay.
I paid $190 for the fucking 8 acres.
Oh my God.
No site work.
Yeah.
And
you sold it
in a town that I was like, I'm gonna walk in here and just tell them what I'm doing, and this is how it's gonna go.
Okay.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, they're in 2 speeds, stop and reverse.
All right.
And I walked in. I had it rezoned, a highway business. I got it approved for 600 storage units.
Wow.
And I'm like, now I got to build it.
Yeah.
And I was having a hard time finding a capital partner for it and one of the right guy, blah, blah, blah. And I wound up selling it to like a pack of Indian guys who land bank.
Okay.
These Indian guys, they come in, they land bank.
I know. They just sit on that.
They just sit on it, and they wound up paying a fucking great price for it. But I look back and I'm like, even though it was a win, I fucked up by selling it. Those are the structures that those like steel buildings, metal buildings, right? You pour a slab, put the steel up, you're done.
It's just so much easier than the storage. Actual storage is so much cheaper.
I know.
Yeah. And if you get a next one, if you wanted, I go in with you. What we do is, you don't have to go put up like 500 fucking, of these in one shot, because you could do them in stages.
Phases, yeah.
You just bang, bang, bang. You put up 5, then you put up 5, then you put up 5, then you put up 5. Every time you come across money, you know how we are.
Yep.
Because we're always, like we said, cash poor.
Yep.
Let's say we fucking run into 20 G's, 30 G's, bang. Let's put up another, 5.
Yep.
And next thing you know, you just, it's a nice IRA, right? You just fucking bang. You just, you just increase the, that 30 G's into 100 G's, Yep. So.
Had I met you a year ago, I'd be doing it with you.
Oh, yeah. There's always opportunity.
Yeah.
You know how it is. You said, it's not scarcity. It's just, there's going to be more opportunities.
It's all over.
It's all over. We're going to do glamping first, and then we'll do the fucking flex space.
I'm ready.
But garage shit was amazing. Anyway, we're done?
Good.
Anything else you want to talk about?
No, man.
I think we fucking killed it on this one.
Yeah.
You've definitely been my favorite guest.
Thank you, bud.
So, Cash Money Mike was here. Had a great fucking conversation. That's it. We're out. You've been listening to The Game of Loans, where real estate battles are fought and won. Make sure to fortify your defenses by subscribing. Cash flow is coming, and we'll be back next time to help you claim your throne. The war of wealth continues.